for my dogs for that amazing performance. I really just uh, recorded them doing random things. Oh, sorry. I just recorded them doing random things and edited a story together. I didn't have a story in mind. And so, you guys tell me down below what you think the story they just performed was. I have it in my mind what it was. And so, I might put it in a pinned comment, the story that it came out to be for me. But give me your idea on what story that was. This is Leo, my Chihuahua Poodle mix. He is 10 years old. And then back here, Andy is the Pomeranian. He is going to be 7 years old this year. And then my Anatolian Shepherd, the big girl, she's going to be 7 or 8. No, she's going to be 7. Don't age her up. Okay, she's going to be 7. He may be 7 going on 8. He should be 7 as well. I don't know. They're getting older, but he's my little old man. Sorry for their debut looking so bad. I'm a pet stylist, and the last thing I have time for is screw my own pets. So they do look cray. Welcome back to my channel. I am just reviewing Good Boy that dropped in on, I believe, October 3rd, 2025, so just a few days ago. And I decided just to go see this movie on a whim. I remember I kept seeing the poster and I thought it was a joke. I thought, like, I don't know, I thought someone made a poster instead of like The Conjuring, they're putting a dog in the picture of The Conjuring. You know, with AI, I don't believe anything anymore. So I thought it was just a joke. But then it's like, nope, Good Boy's out in theater this weekend. And I was like, that's an actual movie? I didn't check out any trailers like I've been doing all year. I've been enjoying movies so much more by not checking out the trailers. But I did have an idea in my head because I'm down the Stephen King timeline as well, reading his books. And so I really thought of Cujo. Like, this dog's gonna, like take, become demonic and take on the family. And I thought it was gonna be the dog was gonna be bad. So that's kind of how I went into it thinking. I'm glad it wasn't that way. I'm glad to have really learned the facts about this because you wonder, okay, it looks, at first I thought it looked a little CGI, but it's a real dog. He is a real dog. His name is Indy, and his name's Indy in real life. He's 8 years old, and I always like to know dogs' ages. I don't know why. Even with dogs I groom, I'm like, how old is he? How old is she? How old are they now? Like, I don't know why pet parents are probably so annoyed with me. Like, why do you always ask my dog's age? I just like to know. But then I think of my dogs. I'm like, I don't know, you're 7 or 8. I don't know. But he's a real dog. And so you do wonder, like, oh, I hope, there's a reason we don't have live animals anymore because of the treatment, usually, in films with animals. So then everyone went to CGI, but then everyone's like, oh, the CGI looks really bad. So there's always some complaint, some kind of give and pull you have to give. Indy is real. And Indy is the director, Ben Leonberg's actual pet. So obviously he's not going to let anything bad happen to his dog. And I loved learning the fact that it took them 400 days, 3 years to make this film, to complete it, to film it and complete it. Because with dogs, as you know, it is not easy to direct them, especially if you have a little strong-headed kiddo like this one. You can't tell her to do anything. Like, if I wanted a shot of her doing a particular thing, yeah, good luck. Um, they're not the easiest to work with. So I like that, even though it probably was a headache to wait 3 years to film it in full. I like that he gave that dog the breaks and the chance to not be overworked. So it took them 3 years to make this, and the dog does not end up becoming demonic. And again, I didn't watch any trailers, but I think they really pushed. I just have been, I don't know, on an island by myself this year, so I don't keep up with everything. But for the production and marketing of it, they made it very obvious that the dog was not going to be harmed, you don't have to worry, is the dog going to die in the movie? I didn't know because, again, I've been living under a rock and not knowing anything about this film. Oh, but I did go into this not knowing anything. So I just had to brace myself on whatever happens, happens. I don't know why I did that, because as soon as they start showing the puppy version of Indy, I was already crying. I cannot watch dog movies anymore. I want to. Growing up, I read and watched Where the Red Fern Grows. I watched Beethoven. I watched Homeward Bound, Air Bud, all these films just fine. As an adult, with my own kiddos, my own personal kiddos, I can't even watch Beethoven anymore. That scene where they're like, yeah, we need, they weren't talking about the tranquilized guns. They're talking about like the ones to end animals' lives. They're like, we need a big dog. And my Anatolian is just watching the screen like so happy. And they're like, yeah, we need a big skull dog to practice on. And I'm just like bawling for her because she's so excited watching the film. And I'm just like, you have no idea they're talking about that. So like, I can't watch dog movies. But I've just been in a funk lately, so I just went and watched this. Also, I'm a pet stylist, and I've always wanted to take the team of pet stylists I work with out to a film. I think we did that one year at one of the shops, but I don't have a team anymore, so I am my own team. So I took my team out to go watch this film, and it was really good. It honestly was. I love that it was from the perspective of the dog. It was on level with the dog the entire time. The humans are never really in focus, maybe a couple times toward the end, but it's very much like how the dog's perspective will be. Although a dog does memorize your face, so that's a little not on the dog's perspective, but the idea that it's at the dog's level was really great. I actually really like that. We're following Indy, who has an owner whose name is Todd, who is battling some type of either cancer. At the beginning of the film, he starts having a brain bleed, and his sister walks in and rushes him to the hospital. And he just has medical issues going on. And I definitely understand that medical issues can change your temperament. So I don't really understand the point of it. I guess it makes sense for us not to understand fully the human's reasoning, but he goes to his grandpa's house alone with Indy to just escape from it all his issues. But however, we find out that his grandpa and his past dog also passed away at this house. And so I guess there's like a bad aura of the house. And so his sister, named Vera, except for that opening scene, we don't see her until the very end again. And she's just calling on the phone, and she calls him every single day, which is what a sweet sister would do. But she's like, why are you going out there? I'm worried about you. Like, let me, you know, you could just move in with me or something. And he's like, no, I have to do this. And automatically, Indy senses something weird. And one thing I don't think is true for my dogs, the first time he sees this figure is when they're in the rain and behind the car, Indy's looking backwards and he sees a figure of a person. My dogs would be going ape shit the instant they saw that. They'd be like, wah, wah, wah. Scarlet would be like howling at this person. But Indy's just like, and then the person's gone. He's like, oh, that's weird. So some dogs are shyer. Again, I'm a pet stylist. I have seen shyer dogs, so maybe he's just a shy dog. They go into the house and he hears something in the basement. And again, these two wackos especially would be all like, like, I'm going to get this thing in the attic or in the basement. And Indy's just like, that's a weird sound. Oh, come on, Indy. Oh, okay. Like, so quiet the entire time. And I'm like, my dogs would be barking their ever loving minds off if they sense something. And then I think the saddest part of the movie, because again, we don't understand, we're seeing it through Indy's point of view, so we want to understand where the dad's going. The dad's taken Indy everywhere, even to the hospital with him, to try to get help, but he's so far into whatever stage he's in, he can't get help at this point. They're like, maybe if he had came in earlier, but the scene where he had to leave Indy, there's two scenes that hurt my heart being a pet parent, a pet lover, everything like that. And when he had to leave Indy, we didn't know why. He's like, oh, let's just get breakfast, puts his food on the floor, Indy's gobbling it up, super happy. And so the dad takes the opportunity to leave the house. And that cry, because again, this dog's been very quiet. That cry, I heard everyone, even me. I was like, oh, don't do that. That's so sad. Because he just was crying and he ran to the other window to try to see, like, Dad, obviously you forgot me. My Pomeranian does that to me all the time. He's used to going into his kennel, which is his bedroom. And to anyone who's like, oh, you kennel your dogs, yes, I kennel my dogs because it's a good thing to teach them if there's a fire, if there's a need to escape the house, if they are feeling overwhelmed with company. That's their safe place. Their kennels are always open and they choose to go in there. And they know now when we leave, instead of being like Indy and whining, crying, being scared, being anxious, they have a safe place to go to. They have bedding on the bottom of all their kennels, and we put treats in there when we're about to leave, and they don't mind going and being kennelled during the time we're up, during the time we're out, so we know that they're up and they're safe. That scene was really hard to watch because Indy wasn't used to that, so he got really scared. And then there's another scene. In fact, it's a scene right after that that the dad finally comes home. It like flashes from daytime to nighttime, and Indy's still at the window in the same spot. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? You left your dog all day and now it's nighttime? Like, what the hell is he doing? And he never comes home and explains it. He comes home, and Indy has these moments of sensing what happened in the past when his grandpa, Todd's grandpa, and his dog lived there. And they went through something similar where he keeps seeing this haunting visual of that shadow person. And he goes into the flashback and he sees the dog from the past and he follows the dog. And so in this moment, he's upstairs and he hears clumping, 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 and so it's like, oh, is this the grandpa coming back? And it's Todd. And he comes back from wherever he was. They left his dog all day for, and he lays on the bed, worn out. And Indy's like, oh, thank God you're here. So he jumps up on the bed. He's like, not now, Indy. And Indy's like, no, but like, dude, you're here. And he sees a hospital bandage on his arm, and it's kind of moving. I don't know, something weird was happening there. So Indy's like, what's up with their arm? And he kept trying to like move his arm over so he could see it. And he's like, not now, Indy. And Indy's like, no, it still looks weird. Let me check that out. Let me heal you. Let me take care of you. I'm a dog. That's what I do, is I take care of you. I'm loyal. He's not saying this. They don't speak. That's just what he's showing. And so he nudges his arm again, and Todd grabs him by the neck and pushes him and said, I told you no. And I was like, oh, I did not like Todd at all. I don't like him from the get-go. He told his sister in a very rude way. She called again. He's like, why do you keep calling? I've told you I don't care. I call, I leave you on the table, and you just talk to yourself for hours. I don't care what you have to say. I'm fine. I've told you I'm fine. Leave me alone. And I'm like, if that is me, beep you, mother beeper. Like, I ain't gonna be talked to that way when I'm just checking on you. Like, I don't mind checking on people and seeing if people are okay. And I've had neighbors recently do that to me. Their dogs got out, and they never do. But I noticed them in the garden, in my garden in the front yard. And so my husband and daughter and I, we were going to go get food, and we noticed their dog's out. So I always have dog treats in my car. I hop out of the car to go help out because the lady, the daughter, doesn't look like she's in any hurry to get these dogs. She's just like, come on, come on. And so I'm like, hey, do you need help? And she's like, no, I'm good. Like, And the dog's like walking away from her. I'm like, okay. So I go up to my husband. I'm like, I don't think, she said she doesn't need help. And he's like, well, I would help anyway. So I go and grab a lead from inside and I go out, back out to go get one of the dogs because there's two. And her mom, who is a little bit older, is like, it is in it is in the summertime, so it's pretty hot outside. And the mom is like coming back to the house like very slow, very exhausted, and she's like, and I was like, ma'am, would you like some help getting your dogs? And I had the treats and the lead in my hand. Oh my God, I've never had this happen. I have tried to help dogs. It's just in my nature. If I see a loose dog, I try to help it at least have a roof over its head. Some way, somehow, we're going to put a roof over your head, and especially in the heat, we're going to get you some water. And this lady proceeds to tell me, no, they don't know you. At that point, I was very confused. I'm like, you don't want me to help you get your dogs? I'm sad. I'm confused. But she yelled at me. I guess we'll go get food and we'll come back and hope for the best. So I didn't know for a few days. Actually, I think the next month, the dogs were out again. So I was like, oh, at least they got the dogs back. Because for a while, we didn't even see them taking them out to go potty when we take our kiddos potty uh, in the back. And we watch our kiddos when we take them in the back. Like, my little cheapoo, he's actually gone out from the fence one time because I spent a second on my phone. So I watched them when they go potty outside. But I hadn't seen the neighbors. So the next month, those dogs get back out again. And kind of the same thing. I think it was just me. I was going to go somewhere, I think with my sister. And the mom comes out and she has a cast on, so she's injured. And she's like, oh, those dogs got out. And I see them and I grab the biscuits. Those dogs come running right up to me. I think last time they didn't see the biscuits in my hand. They come running right up to me. And I loop one and the mom comes over and she's like, oh. And I was like, I have him. And she's like, okay. So we walked to the house, put the dog inside. And then the other one just, I think, ended up following. I wasn't able to lead it, but it just followed inside. And she said it thankfully, but she said it like kind of like maybe it's a pride thing. I don't understand people when something is about to get lost or you're about to like lose something, whether that be your life, your house, your dog, anything that's substance and important to you, and someone helps you, you have so much pride to be upset. But she said it begrudgingly, but happy. She's like, thanks for your help. Like, yeah, anytime. I love dogs. I'm a groomer. They're my life. It's in my nature to help them. I want to help them. Don't really care to help you, but I will help them. Anyway, case in point. I don't even know where I was going off in that tangent, but Todd didn't deserve Indy. Let me just say that. That's my main point, is that sometimes there's just people who don't deserve dogs and deserve certain dogs. And the way I think from the get-go, a lot of people are like, oh, well, it was either the medical disease he had. It was either the medical disease he had or it was maybe a demonic figure like changing his attitude. I don't care. He was still like a beep at the beginning. Maybe not to Indy, but in a way to just move you and your dog. You're sick. You're having brain bleeds and you're gonna go isolate you and your dog in a house that isn't not even if it's haunted, not the best house. What happens if something happened to you? How are you going to get help? How are you going to get help for your dog? How are you going to get someone to take care of your dog if something happens to you? So I don't think he's a great owner, but whatever. That's just case in point. But again, Indy starts seeing some weird stuff, and I am going to say I understand the time it took to make this film. I understand having to extend this story because there's not much there. But there was only so many times. I normally don't get annoyed during films because I do appreciate it. But there was only so many times that Indy could see something. No, he's sleeping. He wakes up. He hears something. He sees something. Oh, that figure. Okay. Oh, I'm going to go in a flashback. Now I wake up. Now I see something. Now I hear something. Now I see something. Now I hear something. Now I go outside. Oh, I see something. Oh, I'm going to go in flashback. Oh, okay, I'm going to come home. Okay, I'm going to go back out. Oh my gosh, I see something. I'm going to go down in the basement. I see something. I hear something. Get to the point. What is the point? What is the point? You can say what's in the box. What is the point? And I did feel myself getting exhausted toward, I guess midway through. I don't even know what time it was. I don't have my phone on me when I am watching films, but I was just like, if they did this one more time, they did it one more time. I'm just like, can we get to the point? Can we? Can we get to the point? Well, they finally get to the point, and I do understand people's confusion with why was the ghost attacking Indy, because I guess at one point it drags him down into the attic, and yeah, it kind of like kept him there, and he was really filthy. And why are you hurting the dog if your point is so big spoilers? I think this is more so not demonic figures, anything possessions. I believe, and I really think this is what it's about, is that's death. It means death. There's a part where Vera on the phone is asking Todd if he's okay, and if Indy is okay, because maybe he sees stuff Todd doesn't see. Maybe he's sensing something Todd doesn't sense. And it's my dogs do that too. Everyone's dogs, I think, does this, where they just stare off into something and they're like, "Hello, you good?" Like, what? Not any of these three, but my mom's dog was a Chihuahua, and there was one time he was looking at the door of her room, and he was just staring at it, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And I start like shutting the door. I go over to shut the door, and he's still like, as I'm shutting it, like he's watching whatever it is. It scared the out of me. Never found out what it was or why he did that. But sometimes dogs sense things, and not just demonic things, but if we're not feeling well, if we're not medically okay. And I think the point is that this is interpretation of death. Todd is dying, and in the film, he actually does die. And I love that scene where he was really an ass. He locked Indy outside, and after he got stuck in the fox trap from one of the neighbors, kept putting up fox traps. I'm just glad it wasn't the kind that like snapped the foot or anything. They get stuck in the fox trap, and the dad brings him back, and he's like, "I told you to stay." So he chains him outside, and I'm like, "You're an ass." And he goes to bed. And again, this figure thing like scares him out of there, so he busts out. At the same time, that could be why it's attacking him, because it's wanting him to be the one to warn him. But anyway, he goes upstairs, and I even said it out loud. I don't usually talk in films, but there's a part where Todd was in bed. He's not looking too great, and he's just like, and I was like, "I think you're dead, son." I don't know why I said that, but I was like, "I think you're dead." And then Indy gets in there. Well, Todd wakes up, and I'm like, "Oh, I guess he's not going to die." He wakes up and he sees this figure, and he's like, "What is that?" And it blows out all the candles, and he's like, "What the heck?" And he sees it, and it's coming closer, and it's Indy. And Indy comes in, and he jumps in his lap, and now Todd's all of a sudden nice, and he's like, "I'm so sorry, buddy." And I'm like, "Yeah, you should be." But he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. La 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 la." And he's hugging Indy and loving on him. But then he looks past him on the bed, and there, laying on the bed, is Todd's body. Because the moment I was like, "I think you're dead, son," he died. So this is his afterlife that Indy is being held by. And that's when this figure finally tries to take Todd, and he grabs him. Now the chain is on Todd, and Indy's trying to grab the chain, And it's so sad because you could tell this is what happened to his dad, his grandfather, and his dog. Because when he goes down there, although Indy does not die, there are remains from a past dog, and I teared up about that because, yeah, just cause it's sad. And so it explains what happened to that dog. And what happened was that he too, his owner passed. He tried to go and save him, but Indy goes to try to save Todd as the being is like overtaking him. And he's like, I'm gonna cry. He looks at him and he's like, you are a good boy, but you can't come with me. Like, basically, you can't save me from this terminal illness he has. And Indy's just left there alone. And I'm sorry. I just love dogs so much. It literally is like the worst trait about me. And I got so worried in that moment because the attic door is shut. And now Todd is down in the basement when, well, he dies, obviously he gets overtaken by the being. And Indy's just down there in the cellar with the remains of the last dog. And I was like, is this how it's gonna end? Is he like he's just gonna starve to death? That is what happened to the last dog. He starved to death and he died. And I was like, that's such a crappy ending because it's like, yeah, he doesn't die on scene, but he's gonna die. But thankfully, Vera said she's gonna come up and visit Todd, and that's when he got all mad at her. He's like, you need to just leave me the freaking man. But she didn't. She's bullheaded like me. If someone talks to me like that and I care about them, I'm still coming to your house. So she, thank gosh, got there and she opens the door. She sees the remains of the past dog. Probably for a second thought that was Indy. But then she sees Indy and she's like, come on, Indy, let's get out of here. And you hear the chains from Todd and Indy looks back. And I was worried again. I was like, is he going to be so loyal? He stays down there. He has this opportunity to escape. And he's just going to stay with his dead owner. But thank gosh he doesn't. He finally runs up. He's like, oh yeah, let's get the out here. I was like, oh my God. Like, oh. So it is a good film. I did like it. It was too long. I'm sorry. Some people are like, oh, this is the perfect time for a film like this. It was a little too long. But knowing the heart and how difficult it was for this to be made because they had to wait 3 years on a dog's time schedule, I can forgive it and I can watch it again. I really can. I think it was really good. I like that. I like that it wasn't the typical Cujo because Cujo got the unfair part of the stick too because he got bit on the nose and one of the kids even goes up and says, hey, Cujo looks injured. Shouldn't we take him to a vet? Yeah. Yeah, you all deserve what happened to you. You have to take care of your animals. Oh my God. I noticed a freaking bump on my dog and I'm like crying for days and like I finally learned because of my husband that I need to calm down when I see something on my dogs and give it 24 hours. If they're still acting that way, then go to the vet because sometimes I just see something's going on with them and I'm just like, are you okay? We're going to take it to the vet. I'm an over protective, I guess, of my dogs. But what? It's like looking at me. Okay. Either he's judging me talking to myself or he's weird. I don't know. Anyway, that was my review of Good Boy. I would rate it honestly. Oh God, if it wasn't for that dang runtime, yeah, I'm gonna do 3 point. No, I'm gonna rate it by fives. I can't remember what my ratings used to be, if they're by fives or by tens. I'm just gonna do by fives. I'm gonna give it a 3.75 out of 5. It was really good. I do think there were aspects that kind of were like thrown out, like the fox traps. Yes, he gets stuck in one, but I kind of wish there's more to do with the fox. And then he kept seeing clues about what happened to the last dog in weird places. But then, like, that never came to do with anything. I think two things that set it back for me personally is the runtime and Todd. I just didn't like Todd. But kudos to the director. I love that he really took Indy's health into consideration to not uh, force him to get this film out sooner. And honestly, I think everyone should kind of take that more into advice too. That I think some albums, some films, some books would be a lot better if they actually took their time to create these things, even if it took a little bit longer than going like, oh, it's due here. Oh, I have to make the company happy here. I get it, but at the same time, this shows you get a lot better of a product to not rush things. So I do like that. And kudos to Indy, the best dog actor I've seen. I don't know too many dog actors like their actual names, but I think the last dog movie, and I could not watch this. I cried my whole ass off because I didn't have these two living with me at the time, so it was really emotional because I just had her, and they were living with my mom at the time. But Togo, and him breaking out of his house just to go run across Alaska to go be with his owner, played by Willem Dafoe. That reminds me of the loyalty of this kiddo. Andy, he would jump moons to be with me. Like, oh my gosh, he's the most loyal thing. And that's the thing is, like, Indy really was a good dog. Really is a good dog. And I hope he got all the treats, all the snuggles, all the lovins he could ever get. He's 8 years old, so that's been since he was 5 that he's been making this film. And yeah, I hope he. That's crazy to think he made a film and he has no idea. Like, that's insane to me. Like, babies, toddlers, it's like, oh, they can be in films, but they'll grow up and understand. Indy will never understand how amazing he did. And he's a good actor. He was one of the best actually in the film. But let me know what you guys think of Good Boy. Have you seen it? I still support going and seeing it in theaters. Just when it hits that window of damn, get to the point, they'll get to the point very soon right after that part. You just have to hit that wall. But I think it is really good, and I think definitely I didn't stay for the ending where he explained everything. I just have been seeing that in reviews. I don't think that was necessary for me to have seen or for him to have put in there, because it kind of was like, that should be on the DVD, to be honest, like behind the scenes footage, not during the film. But oh, and this is also the debut of the director as well, so good job to him. I'm excited to see what he has next, and I wish him and Indy all the best. Comment down below if you guys seen it, what do you think of it, and yeah, I will see you in the next one.